In this video, we compared 6 of the best open ears.
But those were all between $100 and $200.
We'll compare 2 budget ones now, the OneMore Fit SE S30 and the OneOdio OpenRock S, to get to a very obvious conclusion.
Namaste, we're DHRME. Dashing hunks review most earbuds. Not gonna lie, it's true.
The first thing you're going to notice about the OpenRock S and the Fit SE is the size of the case. The OpenRock S is pretty huge and not something we'd call pocketable. The Fit SE isn't tiny but relatively easier to wield.
The size difference also translates to the amount of charge the case can store. OneOdio promises 19 hours on the buds and 60 hours including the case, whereas OneMore gets you half those numbers at 10 hours on the buds and 30 with the case. We had to test this, of course, and we got some interesting results. We only got 12.5 hours on the OpenRock S. Overpromise, underdeliver. Not a great start. The Fit SE went the opposite way since we got almost 12 hours from those buds. What we're trying to say is, don't judge a charging case by its size. It's not how big it is, it's what you can get out of it that matters. That's what she...
Like we always say, we have a soft spot for colorblind people. And that's where we do like the OpenRock S, because it has a colorblind friendly battery LED on the case compared to the single colored LED on the OneMore. And wrapping up the battery section, you get no wireless charging on either. And they both come with Type-C charging. You know, the standard Apple invented. Oh, wait, sorry. Their marketing fooled us for a second there.
Looking at the buds, we like to look at the OneMore. The OneOdio just looks so incredibly cheap, even though they're $20 more expensive. The all-black plastic look on the OneOdio definitely screams budget. The glossy finish on the OneMore makes them more pleasant to the eye. But if you're not into black, then there's also white. The lighter color that we have here also looks really nice. But the black one probably gets the edge because, once you go black...
The surface of both buds sport a touch surface for your controls. Don't expect too much here, guys. Both will give you the basics like play, pause, and summoning your native voice assistant. But do you value volume control or track control? Because then you'll need to choose one over the other. OneMore does volume with a triple tap, whereas OneOdio does track control if you hold down one of the buds. Volume on the OneMore has to be configured in the app and goes at the cost of the voice assistant control. More on apps later though.
One of the biggest use cases for open earbuds is going to be workouts or general use outdoors, where you need to be aware of your surroundings so you don't get hit by a car. And the outdoors means the elements. Both of them have got you covered in the rain and sweat department at IPX5. No dust resistance though, so we wouldn't advise it for you beach volleyball players. We're not sure why you would be listening to music while playing volleyball at the beach. Moving on.
The ear hooks really help the buds stay in place and prevent them from moving about or even falling off your ears. The hooks on the OpenRock S are somewhat adjustable, which isn't the case on the Fit SE. Having said that, we actually found the Fit SE to be slightly more comfortable. An additional thing to note is that the hooks are considerably thicker on the OpenRock S, making it quite the struggle to wear with glasses.
The OneMore didn't have that problem, and you just notice them less around your ears due to their light weight and shape. Now the OpenRock S was not uncomfortable by any means, and especially during workouts, we forgot that we had them on. But when wearing them while on the couch or at our desk, it is something we would notice.
Are you ready for the popsicles, icicles, and test?
Pop, popsicle, ice, icicle. Testing. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, the mics on both these buds were the closest we've ever seen. Both do very well in noisy environments and more than usable in windy conditions, as long as the wind isn't super strong. Neither of these buds are going to be a fuck month favorite. You only get to answer and hang up calls using the buds, no ability to mute your microphone or adjust volume straight from the buds. And some of you sharp viewers will have noticed that the OneMore Fit SE did have volume. You'd be right, but that's only for audio and is useless when you're on a call.
Another feature which is rare to find on these style of earbuds is a wear sensor. When you can take off a bud and it will pause your audio automatically and resume again when you put it back on. There's also no support for multi-point connectivity on either of these buds. OneOdio does at least make your life a bit easier by allowing you to pull the Bluetooth connection from a previously paired device. On the OneMore, you'll have to use that pairing button on the case if you want to switch devices.
And like we hinted at before, only the One More gives you an app. The main thing is that you can update the firmware, customize the double and triple tap control, and an EQ. Okay guys, let's talk about sound quality.
Now, an advantage to open ears over in-ears is that they're naturally wider sounding. The One More seems to be showing off its new hardware. The tech can deliver excellent treble, and One More has definitely gone quite far with it. The treble is just outstanding for this form factor. It's definitely overall a brighter sounding pair of buds with a surprising amount of detail for over ears, but I actually had to use this EQ preset to tame the higher end. AAC does the job quite well in this form factor. On bass, you cannot hear the lowest, low sub bass, but maybe the high low sub bass, if that makes sense. Mid bass like kick drums is no problem.
The strengths of the One More are the biggest weakness on the OpenRock. Don't get us wrong, 2 years ago, we'd have been impressed with the OpenRock, but it's up against a very capable competitor, the One More. The treble sounds anemic. OpenRock makes less trebly instruments sound more natural, but I found the thinness distracting from the music, which is a shame. But it will really come down to the kind of music or audio you like. There's a little bit more bass on the One More, for example, and lead guitar tones and human voices really do sound very natural on the OpenRock. Guitar tones sound nice and crunchy like they're supposed to. Voices sound very human. Great for podcasts, no distracting S's to contend with. In terms of maximum volume, the One More is slightly louder, but there's not much difference between the two.
There was one thing that I didn't notice, but Kevin did. He heard crackling noises coming from the left bud on the One More Fit SE while listening to audio, but also on a call. Very odd, and makes us think that there's some quality variance across different units. We would definitely send this back if it weren't a review sample. Speaking of which, yes, this and the OpenRock S were sent to us by the respective companies, but we respectfully do not accept any monetary compensation from One More or Audio or any other companies whose products we review. This means we keep such content and the bad jokes going thanks to our lovely patrons and YouTube members. You guys, the DHRME army.
So what would I pick if I had to choose one? Well, I generally use these kinds of buds when I'm on a run or in the car. I like the buds to have enough juice to last me in between charges, comfortable to wear even with sunglasses, and have good mics for those phone calls. My pick is going to be the One More Fit SE, but my left bud is clearly defective, so I'll swap my unit with Rohan's.
I closed me by Kevin on, which is Dutch for, that's what he said. One more pick of the One More. The kicker for me is that the One More is actually cheaper, but doesn't feel like it in any way, shape, or form.
You've been getting fit one more time while rocking out in the open.
And we've been DHRME.
Do we? The first is more.
We only got 12 and a half hours on the OpenRock.
On the other. Are you ready for the popsicles, icicles, and testimonies? Of course. What were you thinking?